Hello, my name is Jana Young, and I am the Assistant Director of Academics here at eStem High School for the 22-23 school year. And this video is to update you about the summer school program that's being offered for your student in July. The purpose of the eStem Summer School is to provide an opportunity for students who need to recover credits in courses that are necessary to meet graduation requirements at no cost to families. Through hard work, diligence, and the support of the EHS faculty, and the students will improve their academic skills in their areas of need. The timeline for summer school this year will begin on July 7th. So on July 7th, I will host a live Zoom meeting for question and answers over this slide deck at 11:30. And you can see listed here the link for that meeting, which is also on our one-pager that hopefully came to you in an email. And then on the 11th, so July 7th is a Thursday. On the 11th, on Monday, summer school will actually begin, and it is on site for all eStem students. So your students will actually come on site on Monday, July 11th. And for some students, that means they'll be here all day. And for some students, that means they'll be here just in the morning or just in the afternoon, depending on the student's needs and when the course is offered. Summer school will run through July 29th. So it begins on the 11th and it ends on the 29th of July. If a student is recovering an entire credit, for example, let's say your student did not pass English 10 for the full year, our target for completing half the course, so like a semester's worth of credit, is that July 20th date. Okay, so it just kind of helps the student keep track of, like, am I on track to finish by the 29th? So our expectations for every student that attends summer school here at eStem High School is to be present and to be on time each and every day. It's important to remember that if your student is attending a full day of summer school, that is technically 6 instructional days for that course, because it is 1-hour chunks. And so one absence is actually like missing 6 traditional school days for that course. So we are allowing students 1 absence for emergencies. Upon the second absence, students will be dismissed from summer school and re-enrolled in the next school year in that course, which could potentially cause them to be out of alignment or off track for graduation. So it's very important to us that our students are present at school every single day of summer school. There will be no doctor's notes, no excused versus unexcused absences. There is 1 absence, excused or not excused, and that is it. Students must attend on site every single one of those days. So we can't say, okay, we're going to be here for 4 days and then we're going to go asynchronous a day at home. So that would be your 1 absence. Okay. So we do not want any absences. We want the students on site receiving direct intervention with the teachers we have available for them. It's also important to note that the student handbook is in effect. So the dress code is expected, the same dress code from last year will be enforced by our Dean of Students. Failure to abide by the handbook can result in dismissal from summer school. So it's very important to remember that. Due to the expedited pace of summer school, students will be allowed only 1 behavior warning. After that 1 warning, the second offense could potentially lead to dismissal from the program. We do not want learning impacted by behavior. And so the expectation is they're going to come for that 3 weeks and they're going to be really dedicated to receiving the recovered credit for that class without, missing school or misbehaving or arriving tardy or any of the other things that could crop up. So on that summer school 11 to 29, we've got 2 sessions. Okay, we have session 1, which is our morning session, and session 2, which is our afternoon session. Breakfast and lunch will be offered to students when they arrive or as they're leaving. So If your student is having breakfast, it's going to be served from 7:45 to 8:15. If your student is having lunch, they're going to be serving from 11:30 to 12 o'clock. Okay. Otherwise, if you're a morning session, you're arriving somewhere between 7:45 and 8:30. School will begin at 8:30 and that morning session ends at 11:30. The afternoon session begins at noon. And so if you're only coming from the afternoon session, which you will receive in an email from me, or probably already have received in an email from me, then your student will arrive somewhere between 11:30 and 12. And then school will begin in the afternoon session from 12 to 3. So let me be clear about that, just in case I wasn't. Your student may be just the morning, might be just the afternoon, or they could be a full day. You should have received an email from me on July 10th with when your student should have arrived. Okay, so students attending summer school may be picked up and dropped off in the circle drive in the front of the school. They may also park in lot 5, which is that parking lot right across from the front of the school. That arm will be up for them to park in that. They don't have to go all the way over to Big Lots to park. Students are not allowed to be on the UA Little Rock's campus unattended and must be promptly picked up at the conclusion of their assigned session. That means that if you're a morning session, session 1, they must be picked up by 12:30 and no later than 12:30. And if they're a session 2 student or they're staying all day, so an afternoon session or a full day session, they must be picked up by 3:30. There'll be no staff present beyond 3:30, and so they cannot be left unattended. Students who are not picked up on time will be escorted to the UA of Little Rock police station at the University Plaza. If your student is riding the Little Rock Metro bus, you can find bus pass information on our website, or you can email Miss Vakisa Jones at vakisa.jones@eStemschools.org for more information about those free bus passes for our students here at the high school. What happens if your student, or I should say, which summer school session does my student need to attend? So that's going to depend on what your student didn't pass. And if they did not pass multiple classes, then we try to prioritize what they did not pass. Okay. So you should have received an email from me, Jana Young, on July 10th with that information. If for some reason you did not receive an email from me, but you're thinking your student may have to attend summer school, you can email me at jana.young@eStemschools.org. The sessions are lined up like this. So if you know your student did not pass geometry, they will have an AM session. If you know your student did not pass, let's say English 10, you know they will have an afternoon session. If they did not pass multiple of these courses, like I said, we prioritize 2 classes for them, and we place them as needed. Anything else will be put in their schedule for next year. What does that look like for your student? That means that up at 7:30, arriving between 7:45 and 8:30, school's starting at 8:30. So what is it going to look like for the students? It is not traditional direct instruction. So the students will log on to It's Learning and they will work through coursework at their own pace. If they're not making great progress, they'll need to maybe do homework after school at home in order to prepare and get back on track for the next day. If they are having an afternoon session, they would stay. Otherwise, they need to be then picked up by 12 o'clock, by the end of the lunch session, okay? If they're just arriving for the afternoon, then they need to arrive between 11:30 and noon. Same thing in the afternoon, will they be working at their own pace. And remember, it's important that they need to be picked up at 3:30. The students' grades will actually be calculated total points. So unlike the traditional point system here at eStem High School, which is 70% assessments and 30% assignments, it's actually just a total points policy. So however many points in assessments and however many points in assignments, it all goes into one pot. So we're not using that 70-30 split for this program. Upon successful completion of all the required coursework, parents will receive parents will be notified of the final grade by email from that teacher that's teaching that course. Students will not be dismissed from the program until the grade change process is complete and the parents are notified via email from their summer school teacher. So if your student says, oh, I don't need to go anymore, I've finished, but you have not received an email from the teacher, they need to come back, okay? So if they finish in 2 weeks, let's say, you get an email saying they're complete, they do not have to return for that 3rd week. If the student finishes in 1 week, you get an email from the teacher that says they are done. They do not have to finish those last 2 weeks, okay? So that's how it works. For some students, it takes a week and a half. For some students, it takes the full 3 weeks. If you need additional information, please find this slide deck on the one-pager, which has access to how do I log in to all the things I might need for summer school. And then again, also the Q&A for summer school orientation on July 7th at 11:30 a.m. Again, my name is Jana Young, and if you have additional questions, please email me at jana.young@estemschools.org. Thank you. See you at summer school.